Hey, Star fam, how are we all doing? How are we all doing? Hey guys, the 45th president of the United States of America is about to get locked up on RICO charges. America's ghetto. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? This place is so ghetto. Why do y'all want to come here? Oh, girl, come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Come on, baby. The same thing that took down a mob is about to take down the president. This is I can't even. I literally was watching CNN up to this very moment I hopped on here. Everybody outside of America, this place is ghetto. I don't know what they showing y'all. This place is ghetto. Stay home. Stay home. How are you guys doing? Shout out to my last minute live people. Like I told you guys, I can't schedule anything for a while now. So when I get time, I'm just going to hop on here. Thank you all who are just like ready to go. Hey, Kai, how are you? No, Bianca, I put it up at the last minute. So this is the thing, guys. When I do last minute lives, I'm always going to wait about 15 minutes or so just because I want to give YouTube time to notify people. And I want to give you guys time to see it on Instagram or whatever. So if I ever, like if it's last minute, just know I'm going to wait like 15 minutes unless, you know, it's scheduled. So if it's scheduled, probably be on time. Hey, Dwayne, how are you? Hey, Tracy. Hey, India. This show was crazy. This show is crazy. I'm so glad that I was able to get in to be able to do this live before the next episode's dropped. Hey, 123 said, hooray for our notifications. Hi, everyone. Yes, glad you got it. It's so messy. It's so messy. What is happening? What is happening? Thank you so much, Black Lavender. Black Lavender said, hey, y'all, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much, Black Lavender. Hey, Blue Jay. Hello, Nikki and Star family. Hope Thursday was good to y'all. I have my lock appointment on Monday, taking a weekend to prepare. I know that's right. I know that's right. So happy for you. Megan said, I think Marshall is the kind of man Jackie needs, but I feel she feels he's not man enough for her, or I think she feels like she's not good enough for him, like he's too good. That's what I'm getting from her as well. We'll get into it. Medina said, the way I read over here, it's so much going on. Hey, Emirio, how are you? Sarah said, Bliss was absolutely right to question Zach's judge of character. Absolutely. Now he's crawling back. You know what? Zach to me is not likable on this show. On his TikTok, he's very likable. So I am anxiously waiting to see what Zach is like at the reunion and on after the altar. Very interested to see. Denard said, Nikki Spring alive on us. I'm sorry. Guys, it's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, Chubby Buddy, how are you? How are you? Hey, Alex. Hey, Yashubi, how are you? Hey, Audacity of Ambition, what's up? Hey, Alicia the Diva, what's up? Ghetto. I'm like, we about to lock up the prison. This is crazy. Ghetto. The ghetto. Hey, NC said, hey, so happy to catch this live. Finally, some diversity and representation on this show. Yes. Minus Alex, formerly known as Kwame. Ciao. Hey, JK, thank you for being here. Hey, Spency said, hi, Nikki and Star fam. They need to release the mugshot. Girl, this country is so ghetto. When that mugshot releases, nobody's getting any sleep because everybody is like, are they going to take his wig off? Because normally they take your hair off. Oh my goodness. Unless he got a sew-in. Ciao. Hey, Kayla said, hi, Star fam. It's late, so I will be on Replay Gang tomorrow morning at the gym. Good night. Thank you, Kayla, for being here. Good night. I keep on forgetting that I'm on the West Coast. So it's like, is it 10 for y'all? Sorry. If I could have did this earlier, I would have. Hey, a Leftistonian said, it's been a while since I could drop into a live. So happy to see you people. Oh, thank you for being here. So thank you so much for being here. Hey, NTR said, oh, notifications came through and I didn't even turn it on. Work. Hey, NikkiStar, how are you? Hey, Candace. Hey, Antilles. Hey, DeWay. We can now pretend season 3 didn't exist. I will say, so far, season 4 is delivering. Season 3 was not giving what season 4 is giving. So the producers, they listened. What's up, Cordelia said, did y'all see what Jackie posted on her Instagram about why she broke down? Yes, and we're going to talk about it. We are absolutely going to talk about it. And I'm so glad that she said that because I was just like, this looks unhealthy. I still think that, but I have context. Dr. M said, I'm lucky today. I got the notification because I woke up to prep for fasting. Oh, Ramadan Mubarak. Hope I played that right, guys. Hey, all right, to my Ramadan fam, what's up? Dr. M also said, Kwame is giving me, I said that. Yes, absolutely. He is absolutely giving me shake. Absolutely. Hey, Aaliyah. Hey, Shamiko. Said, night, Nikki. Night, Nikki. Any wait for your review. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Aaliyah said, to be fair, I did actually hear that Kwame's legal name is Alex. Yeah, I think a lot of immigrants do that. A lot of immigrant parents change their name and their kids' name so they won't have to go through, the xenophobia. Let's just be real, that a lot of Americans do when trying to pronounce somebody's name that is foreign to them. So it also allows them to be able to, apply for jobs, right? Because if you're applying for a job and you have a name that does, let's be real, doesn't sound white, it's going to be very hard for you to get a job in the United States of America. So I get that. I get that. NC said, is it bad that I'm scared to get invested in Brett and Tiffany? I love them so much, but I don't want to be disappointed. You know what? No, right? Because I'm terrified. I just didn't want to voice it. You just never know with these shows. And I'm just like, I love them so much. And we've only had one Lauren and Cameron. So I'm like, is it too bad to assume that they're the next? I don't know. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Same way. He's just weird, Sarah. Very, very weird. This is like some next level self-hate. Like just unaware. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, B Fly Nick, what's up? What's up? Yeah, I was not supposed to be here this long. LA is crazy. LA is crazy. I keep on trying to go back, and every time I go back, I get a job. Every time I try to go back, hey, Viv. Hey, Denard said, yeah, her breakdown makes so much more sense after learning what's going on in her personal life. Absolutely. Hey, Jazzy Go. Jazzy Go said Marshall is Jesse Williams, and now Wild Fussed. It was off-putting. He looks like Jesse Williams, but do you think he's giving Jesse Williams in looks and also character? I hope not. You know what? I just thought of Jesse Williams in that play. Miss Gigi said, how long have you been live? I just got the notification. Oh, I've only been on not even 12 minutes. No, wait, like 10 minutes, because I let the video play for like 2. JK said they need to stop casting self-hating men on these shows. It's so embarrassing. I agree. I never knew that was the name. Such a beautiful name for something that just means born on Saturday. Is there more behind being born on Saturday? Let me know. Hey, Priscilla. Thank you for being here. Juby said Kwame has a Ghanaian name that he should be proud of. It's a beautiful name. He probably had his friends calling him Alex and not even knowing his name is also Kwame. I get that. I get that. Sarah said, not gonna lie, I like Jackie, but she was giving two-face with Chelsea and the Micah situation. You think so? Melissa said, I officially prefer Lover's Blind over The Bachelor now. It's more diversity, more needed conversation. We're going to talk about it tomorrow, but I feel like The Bachelor, from what's been coming out, I feel like The Bachelor is actually going to push more diversity because of what has just now come out about Mike Fleiss. I haven't done enough research, but basically he allegedly left the show after Warner Brothers did a racial discrimination investigation into him. So I don't know if that's from Rachel. I don't know. I got to do a bit more research on it, but girl, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. Right on time. Hey, Jasmine. Jasmine said, I've noticed there is no Shane type of character this season, so maybe these connections will work. Well, Shane seemed like he was on some hard drugs. Something was up with Shane. We gotta be real, especially on wedding day. Something was up with him. I definitely see Bow Wow and Jesse Williams. Y'all are a mess. Y'all are a mess. Thank you, Ashby. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you're here as well. Stacy said, this season is already a mess. I love it. Yeah, listen, it's entertaining. Sarah said, absolutely. She was hyping Chelsea up and telling her she would intervene and then running to Micah. Oh, okay. See, I didn't see that. The first part, but I absolutely saw the part with her and Micah. Spency said, Jackie was two-faced. She told Chelsea, go get your man, and told Micah if you wanted him, you could have. Oh, okay. Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, she did. My thing about Jackie is I don't think that she realizes that she's on camera all the time. Because there's some times when I'm just like, girl, you were acting real different but I think you were acting real different because you didn't know about the security cameras that you thought were just security cameras that were actually recording your video and audio. Jazzy said, no, it's just it looks. Marshall looks like a fusion of Bow Wow and Jesse Williams. I agree. Dr. M said Kwame is his middle name and is for guys born on Saturday. Many great people in Ghanaian history have the name Kwame. For example, our first president in Pan-African, Kwame Nkrumah. Hope I'm saying that right. Okay, had no idea. Oh, terrible human beings. Saisha said, I think Irina and Micah are really showing their age. So immature and catty. Yeah, I don't think they came on the show for love at all. I think they came on for exposure. Sarah said, and those same girls were laughing at her when she was crying. Awful. We're going to end with Melissa and then get into the review. Melissa said Chelsea Ben knew Kwame didn't want her, but she was there for the... Melissa said it, not me. Have you guys ever tried this? Like, I've been looking for, have you tried this?
Yeah, they're so good.
They're good. I've been looking for the banana cream.
Yuck.
Oh, that's nasty?
No, but I don't ever want to drink something.
Everybody's saying get the banana cream.
But the cherry vanilla is good. You didn't try it?
No, I'm about to try it. I haven't tried. I've been looking for, oh, you got some. Okay, good. I've been looking for the.
Oh, don't drink them all.
I won't. I'm getting my Martinelli's and I'm making my drinks. I've been looking for the banana cream one because everybody on TikTok is like, this is the one you need to get, and they don't have it. But I saw it today in Whole Foods, so I got it.
Oh. Just remember, it's a probiotic.
That's what I get. Oh, what's a probiotic? What's that? Is it gonna make you go to the bathroom?
That's what a probiotic is.
Oh Lord.
No, I mean, but you can drink one can.
They said it was soda.
One can is not gonna be as bad as like a whole case.
I knew it because Whole Foods don't carry soda, just regular soda. Child, thank God it wasn't a lot.
It's a healthy soda though. It's good.
So should I not drink the whole thing?
Drink the whole thing. I drink the whole thing.
God, I'm gonna be boo-booing. Boo-booing. Oh well. I'm trying to get rid of the coochie gun anyway. All right, let's get into episode 1. Oh, this is really good. It's healthy.
It's definitely healthy. It has an aftertaste, but
it does. The aftertaste is spaghetti.
No,
I'm getting spaghetti.
No, you're not.
I'm absolutely getting spaghetti.
Yo,
it's spaghetti.
It's not, I don't eat enough spaghetti to know that the aftertaste is spaghetti.
This tastes like spaghetti.
No, it
I'm telling you, I'm getting some basil.
Yeah.
I'm getting some basil.
It is good though. It's just a healthy soda.
Okay. This is a nice one and done.
Wow, really?
Maybe it's the artichoke that's making this taste like basil.
Right.
I'm getting basil. Spaghetti. It's giving spaghetti. I should have did the ginger one. Oh gosh. Anyway, it's healthy. It's healthy. Let's get into episode 1. Spaghetti. If you had this, you know what I'm talking about. It tastes like spaghetti. It tastes like spaghetti. Anyway, let's get into Kwame. Only you can make me do the things I do. Yes, it's true. It's you and only you. 33. Wow. Only you can make me do the things. If it's true, I'm in love with you. Kwame, I need you to love yourself, brother. Please. Listen, I think that when we all first met Kwame, I hate to judge by the voice, but I just got to be honest. The voice and the hairline let me know that he was not looking for somebody with this. You know what I mean? He wasn't looking for no melanin. You know, so it was very. I'm just being real. It was very obvious of what he was looking for, and it wasn't somebody that looked like his mama. So I wasn't shocked at all by his, choices and who he was connecting with. What did shock me was that he was so open and honest about being anti-Black and not really naming it, but it was very, very apparent when he was saying things like, I couldn't go and pick up my girlfriend that I was dating for prom because of what I look like. Very weird behavior for me, right? And especially even more weird behavior from his parents, because why in the hell are you allowing your son to date and go to prom with someone who hates the color of his skin? Poor parenting on his parents' part. Just got to call that out, because why were they even able to interact? Absolutely not. That is not a safe environment to put your child in, to have them dating someone who is a part of a family that will possibly harm him because of the color of his skin. I get that a lot of Black people come here who are not American, and a lot of Black immigrants come here and they think because they are not Black American, they're going to have a totally different experience. And yes, you will have the Black immigrant experience, but let me tell you something, America, we do not go by what you are, we go by what you look like. So to come here and just have this idea that because you have an accent or because you're from somewhere else and you immigrated here, you are, some kind of special, or you are just going to have a different experience than Black Americans, is absolutely ridiculous, especially when you look like this man. My God, today. It's just ridiculous to me that his parents allowed him to date someone who he couldn't even come to her doorstep. Yikes. Anyway, I also knew that he was not interested in dating anything with melanin. And I don't think it's just Black women. I think anything with melanin. I think he was looking for a white woman. I really, really do. Because even when he was in the pods, he was talking about, oh, I should have used my first name, which is Alex. And because if I say that I'm Kwame, that represents a certain area. What is the area? Blackness? Blackness? You are 30 freaking 3. This is sad. Your brain is fully developed, and this is how you see yourself in the world. And listen, I can't get mad at the dude, because there are a lot of adults walking around with trauma that has been inflicted upon them from when they were children. Hello, right? Why do you think I do comedy? But I think at some point you have to realize that you're just not in a healthy space. And I feel like at 33, you should know that something is going on there. But I don't know if he'll be able to see it at all, because the things that he is saying, I'm like, you couldn't pay me to say this stuff. But you can pay certain Black people to say certain things, which leads me to the fact that throughout episodes 1 and 5, I've always felt completely off by Kwame. And how I felt off by him is because I feel like I'm getting to know everybody else in the cast. I feel like there's something about him I don't fully know. Like I'm recognizing something in him and I don't know what it is, right? And then I came across this video today and I was like, that's what I'm recognizing. So let me just show you this video real quick that I came across on Twitter, and then we'll talk about it.
Married at First Sight, season 10. Look at this. Wait, you see? Hey, we caught you. This man been looking for love since season 10.
Spaghetti. What I have recognized in Kwame, like I said, I couldn't put my finger on it until I saw that video. And the thing that I'm recognizing is that Kwame is an actor. And I feel like this show is going that route now. I feel like this show is going full Bachelor and Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise, and just hiring people who want to be a performer in some aspect, and they will do the reality TV route to get their foot in the door. Listen, it would not have worked back in the day. It's working for a lot of people now. So I absolutely understand it. But I've always felt like this man was putting on a performance. Now, I'm not saying that who he is showing us is not him, but I feel like he is showing us a entertaining version of himself, or like a caricature of himself. So now I'm just like, I feel like the things that he is saying and the things that he is doing are for camera, are to be controversial, are to get attention. And here is why. Right now, Love Is Blind is like quite possibly, aside from Vanderpump Rules at this moment, the biggest reality TV show out right now. Like Love Is Blind does numbers. Love Is Blind makes instant stars. So I am not shocked that people like Kwame gravitate to this show because you become an instant, at least reality TV star, instant like reality TV celebrity right off grip. And I started to notice this change in Love Is Blind season 3 with Shake, because Shake was the only person, or Abhishek was the only person who really was unapologetic about how he was using the show to further his entertainment career. And now I'm starting to see it a bit more. And in Kwame, it's like right off the bat. So when I saw that clip, I said, that's what it is. He's performing. He is performing. I'm not saying that this is not who this guy is, but I'm saying that he knows that he is on camera and there is never a moment where he drops character. He knows what he's doing. And I feel like when we get to the reunion and past that, I think we're going to see more of him, and more stuff is going to come out about him, and we're going to see more stuff like this of Kwame. I wouldn't be surprised if he was on the episode of Snap, right? He gives me like he was probably an extra on Law and Order SVU, right? I see that in him. And so now everything that he's doing, I look at it as very, very calculated. So that is what I get from him. Not denying any of his experiences, but I think that he is perverting a lot of things that has happened to him and how he responds to things for camera. I think he's very aware. He is very aware. He never gets comfortable in front of the camera because he's always performing. That's my take on Kwame. Let's get into Brett and Tiffany. So in episode 1, we also meet Brett and he handsome brother. And we also meet his match, which is, where'd she go? My girl, Tiffany. So cute, so adorable. One thing that I want to talk about is how all the men were like saying that she's just so much older and so much more mature. And I'm like, she's 37. Like the way they were talking about her was like they're about to take her out to pasture and shoot her and put her out of her misery. I'm like, she's 37. Like, what are you guys on this show for? Like, I'm not saying that it's weird that they were acknowledging that she was a lot older than some of the men and women on the show. But if you're coming on this show to find a husband or to find a wife, wouldn't you be going after somebody who's 37? Because obviously, especially a 37-year-old woman is ready. But I remember Marsha, and I don't know if it was in episode 4, episode 5, I think it was 5, where Brett was like, well, he told me to go after her because she's older and, she's more mature. And Marsha was just like, oh, she's far too like mature for me. And I feel like she's more right for you. And I'm like, but aren't you on the show to get married? So what's going, I get it, but I don't get it. Because how old is Marshall? Oh, he's 27. That does make sense. But I'm like, if you two are trying to settle down, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get into like you guys' thoughts. But I was just like, y'all are like acting like this woman is 50 freaking 2, showing up to this show to like finally find the man of her dreams. I'm like, she is 37. Highly educated, extremely ready for this process. I don't know why she's not the cream of the crop, right? But she wouldn't be the cream of the crop if you're coming on here just for exposure. So that's what was like getting me with a lot of these people, with a lot of the men. I'm just like, I don't get how Tiffany is not somebody that everybody is like trying to get. If you're here to find a wife. Now, if you're here for exposure, you go after an Irina. We'll get into that. But Brett and Tiffany meet on this episode and they have an instant connection. I will say from episode 1 through 5, I was absolutely getting Lauren and Cameron. I don't want to jinx anything, but that's how with season 1, this is how Lauren and Cameron were making me feel. Like I was like falling in love with this couple, but then also being like, this is happening really quick. Maybe this process works. Like all of the things that I was going through watching Lauren and Cameron on season 1, I was going through watching Brett and Tiffany on this season. I really like them. I feel like they are both ready. I hope that this works out. My only concern with Brett is that, and me and my little sister talked about this, he trauma dumps a lot. And I'm not saying that what he has endured is not important for him to talk about through this process, but I do feel like what he has endured consumes him a lot. And I think that just makes him very sensitive, which leads me to when Tiffany fell asleep in them pods. I was like, oh, girl, get up. Girl, get up. I could not believe it. My stomach was in knots watching her. And I'm like, he's telling you that he loves you. Wake up, Tiffany, get up. I was so stressed out. And then I think Micah and Irina came in to wake her up, or maybe it was Amber, but they came in to wake her up. They could not wake her up. And she only woke up when they started singing Usher's Hey Daddy. I'm like, Tiffany, what did you have? Either you had some chamomile tea or red wine that knocked you out, but girl, get up. He was pouring out his heart to her. And then he's like, Tiffany, and she, but this is the thing. I knew that she was going to fall asleep. I knew. Here is how I knew it, because Tiffany did this. Tiffany sat down and she put her little throw on her shoulders, and then she put her feet up and leaned back. I was like, oh no, girl, don't do it. That is the clear, quick nap move that turns into a 3-hour nap. Never do it. If I have somewhere to be and I sit on my couch, I might, put my feet up on my stool or something like that. I will never lean back with my throw and put my feet up to the side, because that is the cozy position. And when you get cozy, you're knocked out for 6 hours. You're knocked out for 6 freaking hours, which is what Tiffany was. I was like, get up. Wake up, girl. He's telling you that he loves you. And then we get to Brett being like, I was talking to her and then I didn't hear anything. So because of that, I'm out. And I'm like, oh God, please no. I feel like we're going to get results from just this couple alone. Please stay together. And I'm glad that eventually they stayed together, because I was really concerned. I was really concerned when Brett came back. But when he came back in the pods, and Tiffany, she felt so bad. She was like, I'm so sorry. She's apologizing or whatever. And he was really quiet. So she got nervous, right? And then he was just like, I understand. And I'm not going to throw away everything that we have built. And I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. But I didn't think that he was going to propose right then. I thought we would have like a couple more pod, visits or whatever. But he proposed, and it was such a beautiful proposal. I shed a tear. Tiffany shed a tear. I am excited for this couple, and I love everything about them. I want them to work. I'm rooting for them. Do we want to get into them just yet? No. Let's talk about Micah and Kwame. Micah. Guys, real talk. I cannot explain it, but Micah looks British. I really thought that we were going to get an accent from her. I really, really did. When she spoke, and I was like, oh, this is an American accent. You were raised here? She has such a British look. I feel like Micah's face is every Love Island woman's face from the beginning, even the host, from the beginning to now. If you put every Love Island woman's face together, like morph them together, you would get Micah. I could not believe that she was not British. I could not believe, I was gagged. She has such a British look, and it's a very specific British look. I don't know where, but it's something. I don't know what part of the UK, but it's a place. It's a place, and I feel like that's what Micah looks like. Is it a traveler? Does she look like a traveler? I don't know much about over there, but it's a look. It's a look. I was very shocked. Anyway, Kwame was head over heels in love with her. And I wasn't shocked by that because she has that voice that attracts a certain kind of white man. And I feel like Kwame wants to have access to those kind of white men. So was not shocked that he was attracted to a woman like that who would probably get him in circles or get him in places where the white men that he wants to attain a certain relationship with and sit at the table with will feel comfortable around him. Bringing a woman like that, at least lets some of the guard down and, kind of makes him feel like he's safe. So I was not shocked that he was like into her when Chelsea was right there, right? When Chelsea would like want to have deep and meaningful conversations with him, he's over there giggling with Micah about absolutely nothing. But I was not shocked that Micah was not into him and that Micah was going to go for somebody like Paul. I will say I'm not shocked that Micah picked Paul. I am shocked that Paul picked Micah over, do I have her picture? Over Amber. I felt like they had a much better connection, which leads me to believe that these people are not on here for connections. Because Zach and Paul had great connections with other women and they did not pick them. They picked the women that they had the worst connections with. And so I'm just like, did you want to get a wife out of this? Or did you want to get exposure from Love is Blind? And I'm sorry, Zach and Paul, but that's what it's giving. Absolutely, Irina and Micah wanted to get exposure, but you guys too, because why on earth would you sit down in the pods with Amber and discuss every and anything and have like these beautiful moments? And then you and Micah are in the pods giggling like you're at a frat house, right? Like you're at some fraternity party and you guys are just meeting for the same time. And it's like, this is the tense moments before you, never mind. Why was I even about to think that? Anyway, but I was so shocked that he picked Micah. And I'm just like, it's a terrible decision for your real life, but it's a great decision for TV. So maybe that's what's happening here. But I was just really, really shocked. I don't see Paul and Micah having any kind of connection. It's giving, coworkers. Coworkers who, sometimes work the same shift at Walmart and have a little key. I'm not getting any of what I was getting when I was watching Paul and Amber. Very unfortunate. But they're probably here for the same thing. So that's what you have here. Can anybody break down for me? And if I'm going to go through the comments and I'll start, if you can break it down for me. I did not understand Kwame's monologue about Paul being the villain in his story. I didn't understand what he was trying to say, right? I get that he was heartbroken. Let's put a pin in that. He was messed up. Kwame was messed up when Micah let him know that she was going to end, talking to him and make it official with Paul. After she basically pistol whipped Paul to break it up with Amber, she was just like, I'm going to clip Kwame's wings right away. But it took Paul a minute because I feel like he really liked Amber, but he just made the good TV choice. I don't know. But anyway, so she goes in and she's just like, yeah, I'm not into this. So I'm going to move on. And Kwame's like, okay, great, good. And Micah's like laughing because I don't think that she was ever really attracted to him. I think she liked his attention. I think she still likes the attention that Kwame gave her, but I don't think that she's attracted to him. Now, if anything happens later in the season, we can explore that. But I do not think that Micah is interested in Kwame. I don't think that Micah, let's be real, could bring a Kwame home, right? If anything, I think that she's entertaining him for screen time, but I don't see anything there because if you had a real strong connection with this guy and you're breaking up with him, why are you laughing? She was laughing. She was like, Kwame, are you okay? What the hell is so funny? This guy is heartbroken that you do not like her. That you do not like him. I will say, Kwame, your breakdown to the camera, because I feel like you know where the cameras are, even the hidden ones. this breakdown that he had, I'm still waiting to see it here. Good TV. Good TV. Not sure if it was real though. I got my eye on him. I got my eye on him. Since we're talking about British Micah, let's talk about not Amber. Sorry, sis, I did not mean to confuse you with this succubus. No, not Bliss. I'm sorry, Bliss. Irina and Micah. Nasty spirits. Just nasty spirits. Like they laugh at the meanest things, right? Because Micah was getting her life when Paul broke it off with Amber. Like Amber is crying because she had something real with Paul. And, you know, like I said before, Micah basically pistol whipped Paul to break it off with Amber. And when that happens, Amber comes in the room and she's crying, and Micah and Irina are laughing. And then Micah sends Irina over to, like, you know, view more of Amber's pain to report back to Micah. And I'm like, why are you two being so awful? Like, we can blame the age all we want, but I think that this is who they are. I think that they're just nasty people, because to not even if this is somebody who you're competing with, to not even empathize with this woman who was breaking down, audibly crying, to look at her and laugh, ugly. Just real ugly and evil. And they just continue to prove that they both have such nasty spirits. And I'm talking about Irina and Micah give me snap killer couples, right? And snap killer couples in a way where the if you watch snap killer couples, you know the monologue, right? It's the same thing with snapped as well. But with snap killer couples, there's always this monologue where it's just like, Micah was, you know, the popular cheerleader from Kansas, and in walks Irina, the first generation Russian American kid from the wrong side of the tracks. These two both have demonic spirits. They should have never met up, but when they crossed each other's paths, nobody was safe. Like, that's what it gives me. Like, these two have such deep, dark, demonic spirits. They should have never crossed paths, right? And when these two come together, the ninth gate of hell starts shaking, because they were never supposed to meet. But when they do, hell is like, oh my God, we got a big one, right? They're just so nasty, and everybody knows it. They show it on camera and off camera. The whole cast knows how nasty these two are together. But nobody was talking about how nasty they were until they came together. So I feel like this is darkness that should have never linked up. And because it's linked up, my God, today, what a dark place this is now, because they have just rubbed everybody the wrong way, and they don't care. They think it's fun, they think it's cute, and it's like they're so not aware of how awful they are. And I'm wondering what their home environment is like, or what their community is like, because if this is what you are showing right off the bat, right off grip, this is what you are showing us. How in the hell were you able to go along in life being this awful, and nobody said anything? Nobody who loved you, nobody who cared about you, like, not in school, not in your home, not at a job. You were just allowed to be this awful, and it was never checked. Weird. Time for some spaghetti juice. Hold on. Spaghetti. Let's talk about Jackie and Marshall. Marshall, cute, right? Jesse Williams and Bow Wow, cute, nice guy. I think, isn't he Justin's from The Bachelorette? Isn't he his cousin? I think so. Because Marshall had a cousin who was already in reality TV, I was kind of weary of him, but I'm on the Marshall train. I believe him. I believe his attraction to Jackie. I think that they really had something great in the pods. I think he was absolutely more attracted when he saw her. Listen, we all know why. She's a gorgeous girl, but you know, We all know why. Gorgeous woman, same age, great job. But Jackie has a lot of issues, and her biggest issue is her family. And it's unfortunate, right? Because in the last episode, it looked really weird. Like she was just crying, just out of wits, and she was just like, "This family, I can't believe this family is so much. Marshall, can you really take me in this family?" Then she gets up from crying, drinks something, and then she just slowly puts the can down and walks away and says, "Put that in the fridge for me, Marshall." And I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, we've missed so much. So thankfully, Jackie cleared it up on her social media. And she was just basically like, just letting us know that her father is really sick. And because, where she is at financially, she's his primary caretaker. And she's never been away from him for this long, right? And so she felt really guilty because here she is in Mexico on TV, like really living a pampered princess life. And her father, who is very sick and who depends on her, she's not there. So the guilt was coming in, and then her brother just got released from prison, and then the family is calling her for monies and things of that nature. And so she just felt very overwhelmed. And I, in that moment, really, really hoped that Jackie and Marshall worked out. Here is why. She needs to be saved from her family. I'm sorry, that family consumes that woman. They consume that woman, and it's so hard being in a poor or working class family and you are somebody who is making a substantial amount of money, right? Because even if you make a substantial amount of money, it will never stretch far enough to be able to take care of your entire family. So here you are making a good amount of money, but you are the only one in your family making this amount of money. So you're stretching everything to help everybody out, and you don't have anything left over for you. So you start going into debt by helping other people out of debt. And it's just completely, unfair for her. And I get it, because this is the, minority working class story, right? It's also the minority immigrant or the people of color immigrant story as well, because we hear, us who are from here, the people of color who are from America, we have to give back to our family here, right? I know a lot of you guys also have to send back home as well. My ex-stepdad is Jamaican. I know all about the barrels. Okay, I've packed a few myself, so I get it. I absolutely get it, and I understand, but it's just so unfair for all of this to be put on Jackie. And I really hope that he, unfortunately, is her savior. I really, really do. I hope that he is the one who lets her know, not like cut your family off completely, but set boundaries. You have to live your life. You have to build your family. So I hope that he is somebody who allows Jackie to put herself first and steps in and cares for her, because she is so depleted, because she cares for so many people. I really like this couple. I want them to go the distance. I also want Jackie to realize the gem that she has. I think she realized that Marshall is a gem, but I also feel like there's a part of her that feels like she does not deserve him. And I think that part is going to become a self-saboteur and start to tear away at him in a way where she could be like, oh, I knew it wouldn't work, right? But it's not working because you're sabotaging everything. Because in the trailer, Marsha's just like, I'm here, I'm trying to help you. And she's telling him, she's just basically saying all these negative things to him. But I think that is just her trying to ruin the relationship because she doesn't want to fall in love with this man and it not work out. And listen, we've all been there. We've all been there, especially if you're somebody who hood, right? You know what I mean? You grew up in a hood, you come from a poor working class family, and then you get with a guy who probably comes from, the burbs or a nicer family and probably got a bit of money, and you all of a sudden start to feel less than. Right. So instead of trying to work on the relationship, you'll sabotage it because you don't want to be embarrassed in your relationship. Right. You don't want his family to meet your family because you're already embarrassed by your family. Right. And you're assuming that he has a much better family than yours. And you just start tearing things down, even when it's healthy. I think, but this is only episode 5. So what do I know? I've only watched episode 1 through 5. Things could change, but I really hope that she doesn't sabotage something that's really good for her, because she needs somebody to take her away from the obligations of that family. She won't do it on her own, right? She needs another voice. And sometimes that comes in the form of a partner. So I hope we get that from her. Chelsea. Chelsea. So Kwame all of a sudden starts feeling Chelsea when Micah does not want him anymore. Chelsea doesn't know this. I don't know how she's going to feel. I'm so interested to hear her perspective at the reunion, because, girl, it's giving. What was that couple? I forgot their name. What was the couple in season 2? We love them, but she was not his first choice, and they ended up getting divorced. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That's what it's here. That's what it's giving here for Kwame and Chelsea. Kwame didn't want Chelsea, right? He entertained Chelsea. He always wanted Micah. All of a sudden, when Micah picked Paul and they chose to get engaged and leave the pods, all of a sudden, Kwame just started feeling all of these things for Chelsea and how great she is and how she's the much better choice, right? However, you weren't feeling any of that before. And I think the only reason why Kwame started feeling Chelsea is because he wanted to stay along in the process. I do not think that he came here for a wife. I think he came here for exposure. And Chelsea is the one that will take him along for the ride. And I think Chelsea is going to take him along for the ride because Chelsea really wants to be married. I always say that I want older people to be on this show. I don't want any woman I don't want any 30-year-old woman on this show. Here's why, 29 or 30. Here's why, 29 and 30 are dangerous ages for women. It's because 30 is the dead age for a woman. We just have to be honest, right? It's the dead age for a woman. You're no longer in your 20s. Now you're in your 30s. And if you're not married and have kids by that time, society spits on you. Society starts spitting on you at 25. But at 30, my God, today, DOA, dead on arrival. It's the worst time for a woman. You go through so many like mental obstacles, right? I want to see women on the show 32, 33 and up, right? Or 28. Do I want 28 and younger? I say, give me 27, 28, and then give me a break and give me 32 and up. Here's why. Because after you survive 30, nobody can talk to you, right? After you successfully survive 30, nobody can talk to you. This is really deep. And I'm sorry to make it this deep, but I want to use this as an example. Trigger warning, suicide. I'll give you all a second to leave. Or just mute me for like 5 minutes. I forget her name, but I believe that she was Miss America. And she was also a host on, I don't know if it was Entertainment News. I think it was Entertainment News. I could be wrong. Beautiful Afro-Latina woman. She had always struggled with depression really, really bad. Her mother released a statement about her daughter. This Miss America, I believe, unalived herself. And her mother released a statement after she unalived herself. And she went through her daughter's letters that she left and everything. And one of the things that the mother mentioned was that her daughter, highly accomplished woman, had turned 30. And leading up to her turning 30, she felt like she was not worth anything. And because she was turning 30, or she was 30, and she's just talking about reading up because she found the diaries and everything. And she was talking about how her daughter leading up to the age and turning 30 was just like, I'm still not in a relationship. I'm not a mom, and I just do not feel like it's ever going to happen for me. Not saying that was the reason why she did it, but it was something that her mother thought was important enough to tell everybody who was fans of her, myself included. And that was not eye-opening, but so relatable, because I remember 29 and I remember being 30, and I look back, guys, I look back at my birthday party, my 30th birthday party. I was so depressed. I was in that car crying to my own birthday party. I hated turning 30 so much. I had a joint birthday party with two people whose names I don't even remember. I did not want to turn 30 because I was not a wife and I was not a mom. And I was just so sad for myself. And keep in mind, I grew up very, very religious, so that's a part of it as well. And I was just so sad. And I look back at my 30th birthday party and I look back at the pictures, sickening. My cheekbones were cheeking, right? Waist, what waist? Snatched. The titties sitting. I looked stunning, but I was so depressed. So those pictures will never see the light of day because I was so sad. In every freaking picture, I was so sad. Now at my big age, I'm like, girl, get up. Girl, get up. But a lot of women who are approaching 30 or 30 go through that. It's such a sad time for us. And I feel like with Chelsea, she talks about that a lot, right? She talks about herself being so old at 30. She talks about how old she is. She talks about wanting a family. And I feel like because she's at this age, as a woman, she's accepting every and anything from Kwame. I'm telling you right now, woman to woman, she has seen every red flag, but she's going to overlook it because she's 30 and she wants to be a wife and she wants to have some kids. So she's going to overlook all of this from Kwame because she has this clock or whatever. It's really just society standards. So I feel really bad for her, right? I find myself watching her interactions with him, and I'm like, sis, just get the BBC and leave, because you're also there for that. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil, right? But just get the BBC and leave. Don't fall for this man. But every episode I watch her, I'm like, you're falling for him for all the wrong reasons. You see how he was with Micah, right? Even leading up to all the couples meeting each other, Kwame was already telling her that he's going to need to sit down with Micah and have this conversation. Well, the conversation turned into conversations, and they were 20-minute plus long, right? But she allowed it, even though she saw it, even though he told her the red flag was coming. He prepared her for the red flag, and she still sat there and sat through it because her mind is set on wanting this idea of what she thinks her life should be at a certain age. For women, our 30 is a man's 40. Everybody knows that a man will be a dog his whole life. When he get to 40, all of a sudden he want to be somebody's husband and father. All of a sudden. So whoever is around him at that time with a vagina and a reproductive system, he's bagging at. What was I about to say? Oh Lord, I'm getting too comfortable. But he's bagging her. It don't matter what. I'm telling you, every guy that you know, right, who's not married, by the time he turns 40, he gets married. I'm telling you, so many people in his life are like, I can't believe he was her. Like, you're always so shocked. Like, this is the one you're picking. It has nothing to do with that woman as a person. He's turning 40. And that's a woman's 30, where it's like, oh my God, what's going on with my life? What do I need to be a father. I need to be a husband. And whoever is around, right? It could be the Walmart cashier, right? If she's fertile and he can smell her pheromones, that's going to be his wife. Why? Because he's about to be 40 in 2 days. That's our 30. Just an unhinged time. An unhinged time. I'm telling you, if you're 29 and you don't have a therapist, get one now. You're going to need it for that 1 year. Those 365 days are going to be hell. But baby, if you ever make it to 33, you're going to have the best time of your life. Anyway, so Micah overlooks all the red flags with Kwame and she sleeps with him. As soon as she slept with him, I was like, oh, she's done. She's done. Because did you notice that right after Micah slept with Kwame, she started talking a little different? Micah was giving Kwame a lot of sass, right? A lot of culture that he don't have. The way she was talking to him, I'm like, are you talking to Jackie? Because that's not how you talk to Kwame. You know what I mean? Like when they were having, I think it was about meeting Micah, and she was just like, don't play me. Who are you talking to? Ma'am, your husband's Caucasian. Your fiance's Caucasian. Who are you talking to? And I'm like, yo, just hold up. I was like, I know Kwame's penis ain't do that to you, girl. Anyway, so Kwame finally meets Micah, and of course, he's enamored, you know what I mean? Because he's attracted to that kind of white woman, right? So immediately he is enamored by her. What I was not expecting was for Micah to also be kind of enamored with Kwame. But I just feel like she likes Kwame's attention. I don't really think that she likes him, but she's not attracted to Paul. I don't think she ever wanted to be with Paul. I think that Paul was just a way to get her out of the pods and on the rest of the season. I don't see her or Paul saying yes at the end. Again, we're only 5 episodes in, so it's pretty early. But I don't see either one of them saying yes at the end. But I do see her entertaining Kwame for the attention that it will give her, because it's obviously working. But Kwame was absolutely smitten with her. Like every time he interacted with her, if you notice, Kwame is always putting his hair behind his ear when he's talking to her. Even when they were at the pool, and he was like, Micah, what hair you got? That 4C box is not laying down like that where you could put it behind your ear. But he's absolutely smitten by her. Who he's not smitten by is Irina. Why? Because Irina is Micah, right? She's basically Micah's tether. But because she's blonde, Kwame don't see that Irina and Micah are the same thing, right? So when Micah interacts with Irina and Kwame doesn't like it, because Micah and Irina want to get shots. So they tell Kwame, can you get us some shots? And Kwame's like, no, you can do your own, because, what's that girl? I forgot her name. Chelsea is right there watching, right? So he says no. Then they finally get the shots. I think Tiffany gets them, and Micah gives a toast to failed engagements, and Irina laughs, and Kwame is upset about that, but they fix it or whatever in the end. And Kwame all of a sudden starts blaming Irina for Micah's behavior, but I'm just like, they're the same thing. You just cannot see it because Micah is blonde. I'm telling you, if Micah was a brunette, Kwame would not be interested in her. He would be falling over Chelsea. But Micah is the blonde little kind of volley girl. And that is basically what, in this nation, white supremacy puts on the pedestal white women like that, right? Chelsea is not the ideal white woman. Why? Because Chelsea is all very strong, very independent, very matter of fact. She's somebody who has her own, right? And she's very forward, right? I feel like the men in her community, or just men in general, would be intimidated by her. Not Micah, who puts on the voice, acts very damsel in distress, gives I don't do anything, I'm dumb, I need a man to tell me what to do, right? That's more attractive to any man, to be quite honest with you. So I see him wanting to be with a Micah, but I do believe that if Micah was a brunette, he would not be all about her. Let's get into the brunette of the season, who everybody hates. And I kind of understand. I don't hate her, but she nasty spirit. Nasty spirit. So Irina is in a love triangle with Zach, who is the 3rd or 4th property brother. I'm dead serious. This man looks like all of the property brothers combined. They need to find out if their father was a Rolling Stone, because if he was, Zach is their brother. He looks identical to all of them. I think it's like 3. I've only seen 3. I've seen the twins, and the twins got a little brother. The little brother who they keep on trying to hide, because the little brother's a little, how you doing? And they keep on trying to hide him because They give me conservative. Anyway, I feel like he's another property brother. Like he looks identical to them. This is not a doppelganger thing. This is, we have the same freaking DNA. Anyway, Irina is in a love triangle with Zach and Bliss, right? Bliss, I haven't found you on TikTok yet. Sis, you need to let us know, the big titty community, how you take them girls up. Because the girls have been sitting. Episode 1 through 5, they sitting. What is the support you are using, sis? Get on it. Anyway, so Zach has a strong connection with Bliss, but for some reason, he is attracted to Irina. I couldn't get it in the beginning, but then when they got together, I realized what he sees in Irina, what he's attracted to in Irina. I will say thank you, Cynthia Simone, for sending me the messages that Zach wrote about his connections with Bliss and Irina. And he was basically saying that it was very obvious who he loved because the show only showed him crying for a bit. But he was like, I cried for hours when my relationship fell apart, when I ended my relationship with Bliss for Irina. It's very obvious that I made the wrong choice. And I'm sitting in that mistake. But it was very obvious who I loved, who I wanted to be with. I do think that Zach chose Irina because Irina was more like him in a way. I felt like with Bliss, and Zach talked about it, Zach kind of went cold on Bliss for two reasons. He went cold on Bliss when Bliss was telling him about her father and how her father is very judgmental and that he will be really hard to like win him. It'll be really hard for a guy like Zach, for any guy in general, to win her dad over. And then she made the comment that she was really struggling with his character if he is interested in Irina and still struggling with who to pick, which was the right opinion. I think she said it at the wrong time and in the wrong way to somebody who was already feeling very sensitive because he felt like he was not good enough for you or your family. And I don't think that Bliss picked that up. But I think all of us watching could see that when she made that comment about her father being very hard to please and not liking any guy that she brought home, Zach changed immediately because Zach is somebody who has a lot of insecurities, and it's because of how he grew up. It's because his mom was a stripper. It's because he grew up poor. He never really felt fully accepted by the environments that he wanted to be accepted by. And it's probably the white upper class, right? Like that's probably where he always wanted to be. But here he is, this poor white guy who's living in subsidized housing, eating, living off of food stamps. His mom is stripping, and people have judged him because of that. So when Bliss said, my dad will not like you, I don't think she realized that she ripped off a trauma bandage for him. And that's when he was out. And he was able to express himself when she said that she was going to judge his character if he would pick Irina. That's where all of that anger and aggression came from. And that's where they had the little disagreement. It was not about that character comment. It was about him not feeling good enough for her. And when she ripped off that trauma bandage that she didn't know that she did, that's where everything was coming out of. Because if you watch it all the way through, knowing that that moment happened or like checking in on that moment, then it just makes sense with this argument. Because in the beginning, I was like, why are you so mad at her? And then I was like, oh, she told you that her father wouldn't accept you. And that's something that he went through his entire life. He doesn't know how to voice it, but if you're watching, you can see that he's extremely insecure and not yet ready to be somebody's husband. Thankfully, he won't be. So we have seen as of now. Anyway, him and Irina, he proposes to Irina or whatever with that song. Can we talk about the men singing to these women? I knew that Chelsea was gone when Kwame did that out of tune song for her. He was like, oh, I told them to bring my guitar. And he's singing to her in like, I don't know what key. I don't know what key it was, but Chelsea starts crying. I'm like, what the hell are you crying for? I'm like, this is terrible. I would have told him to stop. I would have told that man to stop. But Chelsea starts crying. She's just like, oh, this is all I ever wanted. I'm like, all you ever wanted was a husband and kids, Chelsea. Like, Kwame could be anybody. Kwame Kwame could have been anybody. You would have did all of that crying. Poor thing. Poor thing. Please get out of this mess. Get the BBC and leave. Anyway, Zach sings a song to Irina, and I don't like Irina on the show. You know, I don't know her in person. Just a very nasty spirit, but I was laughing with Irina because that song, and he was dead serious. Poor thing. Poor thing. So anyway, he proposes to her. They meet each other. And I got to be honest with you, no shade to Irina, but I was shocked that she wasn't attracted to Zach. Like, I was shocked that she was the one who was just like, he not my type. I'm not feeling him. I was like, the nerve. Anyway, so she's just not attracted to him right off grip, and they try to make it work or whatever, and it just doesn't work, and they eventually both decide to get out of this. Irina made the decision. I think Zach finally decided to ask her if she's in it or not after he tried to talk to her. And remember when she was laying down on that canopy, not that canopy, that day bed or whatever, and he's talking to her, pouring his heart out to her, and he puts she puts her pillow over her head, and she's like, oh, go, keep on going, I'm listening. Like, disrespect. At this point, Irina has disrespected him several times, right? When he tried to kiss her in front of everybody, she turned away, you know what I mean? When he tried to kiss her in the beginning, she was just like, I'm not comfortable with that yet. Let's just hug, you know? And then at first I was like, well, Zach, she told you that she was not comfortable yet with intimacy, so you can't get upset with her. But then Zach, in his confessional, he was like, we're very touchy-feely. She's very different off camera. When we get on camera, she acts like she's repulsed by me. But when the camera's on there, she's touching me. We're being affectionate. So it's just very, very weird. Eventually, they both decide that it's just not working. And after they decide to like just end the process there, in Mexico, they start roasting the hell out of each other. Wasn't that weird? The roast session just happened immediately. Zach was like, you know, Irina was going after him, and Zach was like, yeah, I made the wrong choice. Should have called Bliss. And Irina was like, yeah, you should have. Like, they're like roasting each other while brushing their teeth. It was the weirdest thing. It was the weirdest thing. Like, as soon as they made the decision that they were no longer going to continue on in this process, it was like, let's just roast the hell out of each other. And I'm like, y'all laughing, but y'all both feel this way. And so the laughs are to cover up the fact, or to keep each other from crying, and also to cover up the fact that you two have been wanting to say this about each other from the beginning. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Let me see. Did I get everything? I think I talked about every couple. Maybe you guys can tell me this. Why do the women not like Zach? Like, they all are talking about how they cannot stand Zach. Like, even when Chelsea shocked me, right? She was talking to Kwame about Zach and about how terrible of a person he is. And Kwame was just like, I don't want to talk about him. Let's talk about how awful Irina is. I did love the part where Tiffany and Jackie was like, go get your man. Like, why is he talking to Micah for like 20 minutes? I like that they did that, but now that y'all telling me that Jackie is being two-faced, I'm concerned. Anyway, that's all I have to say about those episodes. There are a lot of comments in here. What do you guys think? Let's get into it. Why would you come in here? Girl. Sushi. I'll get me an avocado roll. Yeah, I'll get an avocado roll. Okay. Thank you, Mel. Where we getting sushi from? Oh, I'll take an avocado roll. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yes, that's who I was talking about. Ayana and Jared. That is Chelsea and Kwame. Ayana and Jared. Sarah says, I hope Jackie is in therapy. I don't know. I don't know what she's doing on a show like this, because it certainly doesn't help the mental health. I hope she's in therapy as well. I am glad that she's on this show, because there are so many people out there like her. There are so many people out here like her. I don't know if she's American. I don't know if she's like, you know, like fourth or third generation American, or if she's first gen, right? Because I will say she reminds me of a lot of the Latino kids that I went to school with, who were first gen, and specifically one of my friends in high school who was the only person in the family that spoke English. So their Spanish was so terrible. I was their tutor. That's how we became close. I was their tutor because their parents forbid them from speaking Spanish because they needed them to speak English to handle essentially the household. Right? He was like, I was 9 years old at the interpreting for my mom at isn't it called Pico? What's Philly Gas and Water? What I forgot the name. Forgive me, Philadelphia. I'm coming home soon. But like he was just like, that's what I was doing because my parents could not speak English. So he was like paying bills at 9. You know what I mean? Like he was never really able to just be like a kid because everything was put on him because he was the only English speaker in the first generation American. So I don't know if that's what she's dealing with her family. Even if that's not it, there are so many people, especially if you're somebody who grew up poor, working class, you're the first person to get out of the hood. You're the first person that is in a neighborhood that is not over policed. You're the first person who is making income that gets a huge tax because of how much you're making. You're the first person in the family to buy a house, right? You're the first person to go to college, and so you're expected to get this really good job, and everything is just on you. And if she's the oldest, my God, today, there's so many people like her. So many people like her. Her story needs to be told. I do want her to get help, though. I really, really do. But again, a lot of people of color communities do not believe in therapy. Right? Right? There's nothing wrong with you. It's just the devil attacking you. Right? You're fine. I didn't have these issues. I did this and more when I was your age. She is breaking down under the pressure of taking care of this family. It's too much. It's too much. Paige was like, child, what is she doing on Love is Blind with all that baggage? Who doesn't have a lot of baggage, right? It's normal. Y'all talking about the barrels. Baby. If you wasn't alert, some of your stuff would be in them barrels. Yes, Lord, I know about them barrels. Hey Mel. Mel said, I don't know how you're drinking that spaghetti, Nikki. I bought it. That's the working class woman in me, right? I cannot waste food because I've spent my money on it. So I can't be like, oh, this is nasty and throw it away. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Throwing away an unfinished drink is a privilege that I don't have. See? We all got baggage. Oh, Plump Perfection. Plump Friction. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Hey, Elise. Elise said, but I agree. They are the awful mean girls that never left high school mentally. Yeah. It's so crazy how at their big age, because their brains are both fully developed at this point, right? It's so, newly developed, but it's so crazy how they've been able to just go along in life and nobody has checked them. Very weird. Alaskan BL Tundra, what's up? Said, and I wonder how many people in the pods didn't know their true selves until last week. That's true. That's true. There could be a lot of people just discovering things, right? Because listen, I've heard a lot of people on reality TV say, oh my God, I didn't know I was like that until I watched the show. So that could be a thing as well. That could be a thing as well. Hold on. There it is. I know I missed a super chat. Thank you, Sebastian. Sebastian said, Kwame irked me immediately the same way SK did. Yeah. You know what? This show not doing the brothers well. Woo, we got terrible brother representation on this show. Brett, you got a lot on your shoulders. You have a lot on your shoulders. Hey, Taters. Tater said, people like him see his wants as a preference, not an actual deeper issue. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like he wants a specific white woman, and we all know what that white woman is. Because there's no reason. Like if you want a white woman, you will want to get a Chelsea. Like, why wouldn't you? Why don't you want her? What is it about her that you do not want? You know that after a while, you're not running that show. Chelsea is love struck for a moment, right? Let y'all get into the real world. Chelsea running that show. You can't run Chelsea. That's why he's not attracted to her. But a girl like Micah with a couple coins, you could run her real quick. Real quick. Alaskan BL Tundra said, that's amazing, talking about the video of Kwame. Love and Blind and Married First Sight and Married at First Sight are the same production teams. Yes, it's giving actor. It's giving actor, Kwame. I think so, NTR. I think so. It's giving actor. Leah said, also, if you notice, Kwame talks a lot and he just says a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, it's a whole performance. Alaskan also said, I got a nurse friend who was scouted out for a season of Love is Blind about 2 years ago. It might as well be Big Brother. Black Lavender said he's trying to get some fame and some change. Absolutely. And why wouldn't you? Love is Blind is bigger than The Bachelor at this point. Why wouldn't you? If you want instant exposure, this is the show to go on. Taisha said, in the pods, Kwame was always using these dreamy, romantic words and phrases which truly had no depth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, taters. NTR said self-hate as an actor storyline, so others hate themselves. That is sick. He's trending. He's trending. Before I even watched this show, he was trending on Twitter. Calculated. Smart. Didn't make any sense, right? But it absolutely fit the character. Absolutely. He knows where the cameras are. He knows where the cameras are, Sierra. Sierra said the way he was all in Micah's face in that pool was purposely done to rock the boat. He knows what he's doing. But the thing about it is, the storyline that he wants to create with Micah is going to be very hard with an Irina. He can't stand Irina. He cannot stand Irina because she is somebody that comes in and she takes over that storyline that he's trying to create. It doesn't work. So with her out, Kwame's going to get worse. Kwame's going to get worse. Melissa said, well, now that balling makes sense, LOL. Call Tyler Perry. It was terrible. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it for 1 second. I did not buy it. Leah said, it was so interesting seeing Kwame interact with Brett and Marshall because you could tell his friends don't look like them. And did you hear the voice that he was putting on? Listen, we code switch, right? We know what code switching is. That was not code switching. That no shade. But the way Kwame was talking to Brett and Marshall is a way that I feel like non-Black people have talked to me to relate to me. His code switch didn't feel familiar. It did not feel familiar at all. And Brett was so confused. I love watching Brett interact with Kwame because Brett can see it. Brett can see the game from a mile away, and he does not want to be involved in any of that mess. When Kwame was talking to him about Micah, he was making sure that he was counteracting everything that Kwame said about Micah with great things about Chelsea. Brett was like, absolutely not. You are not going to have me in this mess with you. I'm not going to be agreeing with this drama. I'm not going to be looking like that guy on TV. I love him. Yes, thank you. Justin from The Bachelor. Yeah, so I was a little weary about him, but as I watched on, I really like him and Jackie's relationship. I really, really do. I really, really do. You know what, So Seth? I get it. I'm glad she came on the show, though. I'm glad she came on the show. But to be honest with you, a highly educated Black woman with a great career, if you're looking for a Black man in your field, it's going to be very, very difficult. Why do you think that there are a lot of Black American women marrying Black immigrants? That's something new. That it's always been happening, but now It's a lot of a Black American woman, first gen Black man, because it's just very hard to find for some, right? Um, it also depends on what career you're in. Like it won't be hard for me to find a Black husband. I mean, I'm in LA, but it depends on the career that you were in. And if you're in what is Tiffany in? Is she in marketing? You know what I mean? If you're in marketing, medical profession, law profession, a lot of places where they just have a really small percentage of Black people working in those careers. It's very hard to find your equal. What does Tiffany do? Client lead recruiter. See, something that sounds Caucasian. Not something that sounds Caucasian, but something that sounds like a lot of her coworkers don't look like her. Right? Hey, Lawson Blair said, Tiff and Brett, I wanted them to give me the feels, but they are not giving me the feels. Oh, keep watching. Keep watching. JK Knight said, probably what happened to Bliss too. She seems like wifey material. What the hell was I talking about that made you say that? Sorry, JK Knight. Jay Beck said, Tiffany is 10 years older than most of the guys. For some reason, producers think that 26 is an appropriate marrying age. I don't feel like that's I don't think that that's an appropriate marriage age for this generation, because it's 26, 27. Is that Gen Z? Like, I feel like that's geriatric Gen Z. Gen Z is such a different, fascinating generation. I love y'all. They are breaking so many norms, and 26, 27, that y'all just can't get them to get married like that. Y'all just can't. Now, y'all can absolutely get them to come on the show and scam, but that's about it. That's about it. Tater said, the culture today doesn't look at women older than 30 in a positive light. Yeah, that's changing. Shout out to Gen Z. A lot of that is changing. But yeah, it's just such a dark time for a woman. I think about that time and I was so sad, and I should not have been. The finest I've ever been in my entire life. I look back at them pictures and I'm like, you are insane. Poor thing. I let society get to my head. Yeah, Sarah, I get it. Sarah said, I'm proceeding with caution with every couple right now. Melissa said, Tiffany sleeping is the most relatable thing I've ever seen on this show, because I've had fallen asleep too. I'm telling you, as soon as she put her feet up, I was like, oh, girl, you in the danger zone. You are in the danger zone. NC said, I'm glad Brett didn't let her falling asleep change his liking towards her. I really hope a producer intervened. I really, really hope, because he was like, I'm done. And then the next episode, he's proposing. I hope this was producer intervention. I was nervous there for a while. Me too, because he was in his feelings about it for a little bit. As you should, right? As you should. I would be like, hello, like, what's going on? Like, he didn't know that she fell asleep. He didn't know if she left. Like, he doesn't know what's going on the other side. So I'm glad that they worked that out. I'm finally getting to the Micah comments. I read this one first. Yes, maybe that's what it is. Maybe she just really looks like Baby Spice to me. Maybe that's because I'm telling you, the face is British. The face is British, from the forehead to the lips to the teeth to the jaw. It's British. It's Essex. Yes, that's what it is. That's what I was trying to say. Yes. 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 That's what that is. That's what to the nails, to the tan, very British. Very British. Yes, Essex. Micah from Essex. I looked at her and I was like, oh, you're American? I could not believe it. She does not look like an American white woman. That's Essex. She is Essex, baby. Yes. And the whole face. That is a British face. And she even styles her hair like a British chick from Essex. Molly May, who I love. Oh, I hope she's doing well. I had to stop following her on Twitter because I was like, Molly, what's happening? She was just making me sad. And I'm like, I'm rooting for you and Tommy. I can't, girl. Let me get out of here. I don't want to follow this journey no more. I don't want to follow this journey no more. You know what? I'm going to put you, Taina. You're in timeout. You're in time out. Come on. Come on. Like Kwame. But you know, he's used to that though. That's like something that he's used to. See, this is a thing. A lot of brothers put up with stuff like that, and that's crazy. You can't bring me home. F you and your ugly family. Like, get out of here. It's the men. I can't believe God made them first. I like Amber. I do hope that she's able to come back around again. Like, we're going to see Bliss again. I guess the episodes drop tomorrow or tonight at midnight, I think. We're going to see Bliss again. I hope we get to see Amber because I feel like her and Paul had something real. Hey, Amma K said Robert and Kyle are picking their high school fantasies. I think so too. They're picking the cheerleader they always wish they had, or the cool girl who was kind of a bully, but everybody really liked her because, let's be honest, she gave great head, right? Right? That's what I get from her. You know, right? You know that girl. You know that girl. Miss Tia said, I don't know, Paul and Zach seem to vibe more together than they did with their matches. You know what? I see it too. Christina said he was the villain because he stole. Yeah, but it was just the way he expressed it to me was just really, yes, fake deep. The way he expressed it to the on camera, I'm like, what are you talking about? It just did not make sense. Yeah, definite Mean Girls. Definite Mean Girls. Y'all ain't get that? Y'all did not get that? Every episode of Snap Killer Couples starts out like she was this, he was that. They were two flames flaming in the night. They should have never came across each other's paths. Once they did, they set the whole town ablaze. That's what that is. That evil should never link up. Never link up. Miss Tia said, after wondering why it took him so long to break up with her, talked about going to see why he needed that much time. Like, Bliss was right to question his character. Like, you're even saying that Irina is vicious, yet you want her to be your wife. What? Very weird. But I honestly think that he chose her because he did not think that Bliss's family would choose him. That's what I think. Oh, we did not get into that. The Black Gal says that Irina wants Micah's man, right? I don't know if Irina really wants Paul or she wants to create this storyline for her to stay on the show. Because I just don't trust anything that Irina and Micah does on this show, right? I will say this. I will know if Irina going after Paul, right? Because eventually Micah is going to find out. If Micah does not react or have a normal woman's reaction to her good friend, her good Judy, trying to brush up on her fiance, if she does not have a normal reaction to that, I will absolutely know that Irina going after Paul is just a storyline for her to stay on the show. I'm waiting for Micah's reaction to finding out this information. If her reaction is far too chill, I know that it is a storyline that they have both concocted for her to stay on the show and still get camera time. So I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on that. I got this super chat. Buddha said, I'm laughing at both of the men that picked them. Want someone else now? Listen, we might be seeing Amber again. We might be seeing Amber again. Amake said, Bliss told him how nasty Irina was, and he still picked her. Men don't get that we as women know each other better than they know us. True. Very true. I will say with Bliss, I didn't know why she reacted to Irina like that when Irina asked for a candle, which is why I did not believe that Irina really wanted Zach, because you've been in that pod with him this whole time. You didn't know it was his birthday. Girl, what? You didn't care. You didn't care. But Irina was just like, oh, can I have a candle? Because I forgot. And Bliss, like her reaction. So I don't know if more stuff happened, probably, because it just did not seem like a normal reaction to have from one interaction with Irina. So there probably was multiple things that happened, but Bliss is like, she has to get away from me like right now. Like, I cannot have her around me. Like, why would she even ask me for a candle? Bliss is like, yeah, it's fine, but me and you shouldn't interact like at all. And I was like, oh, what happened? So something else had to happen for her to react like that, in my opinion. But it did come out of nowhere, and I feel like we're missing something. Yes, thank you, Black Lavender. Please hit the like button, Star family. Oh my gosh. Indigo Girl said, hi, Nikki. I wish I could listen. I am working. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you got AirPods? Let me stop. I don't want you to get in trouble. OMG. Let me get to some newer comments. I don't, because I actually like this show, so I don't want to be spoiled. If I hated the cast, I would absolutely take it. But thank you for giving me the heads up, Kimberly. Simply Simone said, the one time I'm rooting for the white girl. I'm like, Chelsea, you could do better on your worst day. Girl, again, get the BBC and bounce. Taina said, after they did the feat, you could tell she was more into him than he is into her. And you know what? My little sister pointed out that because Kwame likes Calvin Klein underwear, or like a big fan of Calvin Klein, that is all that Chelsea has been wearing. She's gone. She on Kwame? Oh my goodness. You poor thing. You poor thing. Hey, Miss Brown Sugar, how are you? Black Gal said it's a status thing, especially when you have very high standards. I forgot what I was talking about, but thank you for commenting. Pink Petal said, child, I'm 36 and I feel that way now. Not one to unalive myself, but I understand how she felt. Okay, it happens. It absolutely happens to women all the time. It's so unfortunate because I like the 30s are the best. The 30s are so great. 30s are so great. 20s too, like every year that you are alive is a gift. But society, yeah, it's the worst. It is the worst. I wish I could do it all over again. I wish I had a time machine. I wish I had a time. I look sickening. Poor little Tink Tink. Poor little Tink Tink. Jazzy said, I'm 33. I finally feel happy now that I'm wiser. So I just don't get it. Yeah, 33 was that girl for me. 33 was that girl for me. Leah P said exactly, and Kwame looks like the type to take Chelsea through the ringer. Oh, he absolutely will. He absolutely will if she does not wisen up. Priscilla said, that's on Chelsea. She's setting herself up for failure and embarrassment, especially from a guy like Kwame. She's not in her right mind. I'm telling you, 30 is an unhinged year for a woman. She's not in her right mind. She should have been on that show at a good 33, 34. Leah said, great observation. Leah says she's smart enough to notice the red flags, but still desperate enough to put up with it, unfortunately. Yeah, because she wants a family. Like, that is her thing. And it's so sad, but I'm like, if you go through with this, I feel like after baby number 2, right, because this is what you essentially wanted, you're going to get out of that. Please don't, make more divorced children. Like, come on. We keep on telling you it's the worst thing ever. Stop putting more kids on earth like that. It's not a fun time for us. We don't get it until we're older. NTR said Chelsea's still probably waiting on those chips and guac. I forgot that he was supposed to get her that. Ciao. Taina said Micah reminds me of the white girl who was messing with the president of that Tyler. Girl, mess. Fifi said, I agree, Nikki, because Paul said his dating history mostly consists of hippies. Micah is a first for him. Yes, he was talking about how he dates only like crunchy, like granola girls who are like activists. And then you settle down with Micah. This is weird. Very, 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 very weird. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell them roots are blown out. Like they got freshly bleached to the point where she looks bald. Anyway. OMG. Sarah said Zach leading with the stripper stuff was the first red flag. And then when he started saying his mom was a stripper, jaw drop. What a weird way to bring that up. Absolutely. Because it's the way, I'm not saying that he does not love his mom, but he hated her profession, right? And I wish he looked at it as a different way, that your mom from a certain social economic status had to take on a certain kind of job to provide for you, right? Look at society, the US government, right? Class. Look at all those things and assess why your mother had to do what she did, right? But instead, the way he speaks of her, and again, not saying that he does not love his mom, right? But it's my mom was a stripper and people judge me because of it. Your mom did the best she could, right? She took the job that if she does it well, could take care of you, right? And it's unfortunate, it's frowned upon in society. But if society paid women equally, right, she probably would not have had to do that. If college were free, she probably would not have to do that. So I think he should be looking at everything else that put his mom in that situation, but instead he's looking at his mom as if she should have done better, not really considering that there probably wasn't better for her and it's designed that way. Again, I think that he loves his mama. It's the way that you introduced the audience to her, Zach. That was a bit alarming. Megan says, I think because Zach is his defense attorney, he wants to give people the benefit of the doubt, or he wants to see the good in people. He saw the flaws in Irina, but still wanted to see the good in her. I wonder if Irina has the personality, if his mother had a similar personality. Because I want to hear more from him. He's not really talking because, of course, he's, in the air, whatever. But I would love to hear what his attraction was to her, because to say that woman is vicious and then propose to her, very weird. Very weird. Very, very weird. Like the only one, even Irina said, I forgot your birthday. She remembered your birthday, struggled to make them box cupcakes. I was like, girl, you are not making these from scratch. Struggled, but she still did it for him. Child, Zach, you did not make the right choice. Miss GG88 said, my sister-in-law called, so I have to watch on replay. The family tea is piping hot. Go get your tea, sis. Go get your tea. Elena said, also reduces his mother to being just a stripper when she clearly did her best, to give her children a future. Yep. Priscilla said, so I saw on TikTok, somebody called out that Zach didn't write that song. He took it from someone else. So not only is he a lead singer, he's a liar. Ciao. Miss Brown Sugar said, I think Zach's a bit of an oddball, but nothing to justify all the women clowning him. Yeah, it was just weird. I was like, what is he doing that we are not seeing? Like, what is happening? Salima said, I love nerds, but they're a distinct flavor of a person. Best way to describe it. Best way to describe it. Leah said, Zach likes to stare really hard at people, but I really hope they explain why they don't like him. Yeah, because I am just shocked. Okay, thank you, Rachel. Rachel said, this has nothing to do with Love is Blind, but root beer Olipop is pretty good. I'm going to try it. I have a ginger one, and there was an orange one that I wanted to try. I'm going to try the ginger one. Oh, Brandon, thank you. We got a Cash App. We got a Cash App from Brandon. What does it say? What does it say, Brandon? Hold on. Where is it? Not now, Cash App. Like, Cash App, I'm never doing my taxes through you. Are you crazy? Brandon, thank you so much. It's just a heart. It's just, oh wait, it's a request. Brandon, if you don't choke, I thought it was a Cash App. It's a request. Boy. Anyway, Fifi said, oh yeah, I'm going to get the orange one. I have a ginger one, a ginger Olipop. And then I need to find that banana cream that everybody's talking about. After that, I'm done. Fifi said he wasn't degrading his mother at all. Y'all just don't like him. So we'll say anything to paint him in a bad light, LOL. Yeah, I don't know why people thought that he was a certain kind of way. I didn't think that he was painting his mother in a bad light. I think that he just, from what we got, and I'm not saying that that's all he said about his mom, from what was edited and what we saw, that was like how we were introduced to his mother. So Pico, okay, thank you, Metamorphosis, thank you. Kay said, coming in late, but did you guys talk about Micah and Irina's apology where they said being mean was their way to cope from the streets of the pods, stress of the pods? No, I did not. Please send that to me. Please send that to me. NC said, I like Bliss a lot, but she's too honest for her own good. On a dating competition show like this, she has to be more strategic. I get it, but I feel like Bliss was there for all the right reasons, right? I think I don't get fame from her. I think she was really being honest with somebody who she wanted to build a life with outside of the pods. Hey, Dear Diary. Dear Diary said, hey, Nikki, I can't stand Jackie, Micah, Irina, Kwame, the whole cast. Lord, I don't like most of the cast. Jackie seems like manipulative, and she isn't the only one shaking my head. I feel like Jackie just has gone through a lot. I feel like she's going through a lot. I really, really do. I really, really do. Miss Brown Sugar said, see, SK fooled me. Me too. But Kwame gave me the ick right away, just like Bartiz. Yeah. Justice for theater kids, but I understand what you mean. I get it. I get it. Oh yeah, like these people are instant stars. Fifi said that's right, Nikki, because the way that Love and Blind contestants get followers faster than the ones from the Bachelor franchise is funny. Yeah, Lauren and Cameron are eating off of this show. Eating. Like they both was. Me and Brandon are gonna have to fight the night. Miss Brown Sugar said, I'm not questioning it at all. Oh, I don't want. So I don't know if y'all beefing. And Tilly said the story about those pants when he started his proposal, weird. Yeah. And I think, honestly, guys, I think it's just because we are just like, we're highly decorated within education and careers. Like we are outperforming every demographic in education and career. Like we are the fastest growing demographic in the United States concerning education and career, right? Which is why Republicans can't stand us. Like people are always like, I don't know why Donald Trump always goes after Black women. Have you checked out the Democratic Party? We got that on lock. And the more Black women become successful, We a problem for them conservatives. Absolutely. Because unfortunately, and this, I don't think that it's just a black man thing. I think it's a man thing, especially for people, men of color and black men and men of color. Too many of our men, not all, but enough where it's a problem, desire to sit at the table of white supremacy. The majority of black men want to tear down that table because that we don't just want justice, we want equality as well. You can't have equality if that table is still intact. But far too many of our men and men of color want to sit at that table. So that's why politicians are always going after, especially within the Democratic Party, always when it's time for an election, they make sure to get in front of black women because, we are the ones that's going to make the best decision for our communities. And listen, I'm not getting political at all. All politicians are the spawn of Satan, but we know which ones is trying to erase black people from black history, from American history, and annihilate the trans community. So it's a lesson in survival. I believe it. BB said, I heard that the final episode will be wild. I believe it. Well, they can't. It's for entertainment. It's not, they're not it's not really a dating show or a marrying show. It's entertainment. You get the best personalities who will complete the process. That's all that is. None of the producers are looking for matches. None of them are. If it happens, great. Everybody is looking for entertaining people. Oh, thank you, JK. JK said you said that the men weren't checking for Tiff because she was giving wifey and they're here for TV. I was saying probably the same issues with Bliss. I absolutely agree. Yeah, what's Gen Z? Oh, wait, yes, okay. So they're Gen Z. Oh, wow. Yikes. Geriatric Gen Z. Problem. Hey, Veronica. Veronica said, OMG, Nikki, I finally caught a live. Thank you for being here, Veronica. NC said, read the girls not liking Zach. Tiff was close to Bliss and was shocked that he chose Irina. I'm sure on the honeymoon, all the girls talked about, and don't like him due to being protective about Bliss. I can see that. Hey, Blue Jay. Blue Jay said the thing about age to me is that people highlighting certain times as the moment where you never will be as good as instead of growing and getting better in your entire life. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. You know what? This is the thing, right? With early 20s, you're still so childlike. That's why it's so weird when 40-year-old men and even men in their 30s are dating women in their 20s, or anybody. When people are in their 30s and 40s and you're dating people in your 20s, especially early 20s, I'm like, why? You're fresh out of high school. If you went to college, this is your first time living on your own, and you're still not in the real world. You're still so childlike. And that I always question that. What the hell are you doing? Trying to bed this kid. I don't care if they're legal. Come on. That's why they start recruiting for war at 17. Y'all get in their heads early because you cannot get no 30-year-old man to sign up for the war, but you can get an 18-year-old one who don't know nothing, early 20s. NC said, do y'all think Bliss is going to give Zach another chance? I'm so torn. The feminist in me wants me to tell him what? Tell her not to, but the romantic in me wants her to. Listen, I don't know. I'm really torn because I'm the same way. I want her to tell him to choke. But then another part of me is just oh, but you said that you will always love him. I don't know. Kay said, I don't get the hype around Paul. That man has as much flavor as a LaCroix. OMG. I agree. Deborah said, Irina and Paul wouldn't work anyway because she's not a granola witch. And I just think that he's not attracted to her. I think that he's just being nice, but I don't think he's attracted to her. Shanae said Irina wants to be on TV. That's why she said yes to Zach in the first place. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, but I want to see more. I want to see more. If it is confirmed for me, like if I'm like really sure that she has no reaction, it's a setup. She don't want him. She do not want him. Hey, Rachel. Rachel said Micah and Irina were ugly to the other women on every episode. They were laughing at Bliss when she was crying after the Zach breakup. Weren't they laughing at Jackie too? Weren't they laughing at Jackie? I believe so. Evil. Just nasty. Hey, Kay. Thank you so much for the super chat. Kay said, as soon as I saw Chelsea being all touchy-feely on Kwame's lap, I heard your voice singing Bachelor Styles. These girls need to stop chasing these men. She's so gone. So gone. Like, have y'all noticed the Calvin Klein underwear? Girl. Sarah said, I completely agree, Nikki. Zach still has issues with the fact that his mother did what she had to do. Deep-rooted issues, therapy people. Yeah. He's not ready. He's not ready to be somebody's husband. Deborah said, did you peep how Irina was fake consoling Jackie? Yep, that's what I was just talking about. In her face with Micah when Jackie was crying on the couch. Yep, just nasty. Jackie is going to get Irina and Micah together. She is going to get them together. I was like, oh my God, a request? Boy, bye. And I don't even really recognize you. Like, you're not my regulars. Get out of here. Small Brittany said, Kwame came in wanting one kind of woman, got that, and was still unhappy because he lost to a white man. He'll never be happy. He'll never be happy. Okay. So you're a pervert. Let's see. There we go. Leah said, I think Jackie is manipulative too. If a man did what she did, making one love interest confront the other, he'd be Kwame. Yeah. Let's wake it up. Because that's exactly what it is. That's why she talks to him a certain way. And I'm like, you're talking to him in a way that is foreign to him. Like, he doesn't know what you're doing. And you're thinking, because this is probably how you interact with the Black men that you are normally with, which is, I think she probably has only dated Black American men, because the way she's relating to Kwame, I'm like, this ain't universal in Blackness. So I feel like she's used to one kind of Black man, but the way she was like talking to him, and I was like, what? Girl, he don't talk like that. He do not talk like that. But I do think that's what she's attracted to. I really, really, really do. And listen, sis, I understand. I get it, right? But Kwame is, that's not what you think it is. What you think you seeing, ain't it? Ain't it, girl? Ain't it? Hey, Tanya, thank you for being here. Tanya also said, I will go back tomorrow and be a part of the replay crew. Thank you. Paige said 1995 to 1997 is like geriatric Gen Z baby millennial. We don't really remember 9/11, and we have very faint memories of the dial-up internet. Oh my God. I remember that loud. All the memories. I don't know. Whatever Bliss decides, I'll be okay with it. But I'm torn. I am torn. Deborah said, Micah said she was never interested in Kwame and it's just flirty. Yeah, and I feel like her flirting with him is just to stay on the show. What? No, we did not, Tanya. I ain't know about that. Hey, April. Thank you for being here. Kay said, Chelsea needs another Brett. Actually, we all need, he's such a great guy. Oh, he's such a great guy. I'm rooting for them. I am rooting for them. I saw something and I wanted to address it. I think it was Melissa. I can't remember, Melissa, but I think this was you. Congrats to your daughter on her PhD, right? I think that was you. I think that was you. Congrats on your daughter's PhD. That's awesome. Alaskan said, Zach just flew out for Paul's birthday party like a week ago or so. I'm not shocked that they're still cool. I'm not shocked. Absolutely. Absolutely. And unfortunately, a lot of women try to marry the fun men. Oh, girl. Sometimes they're not the same person. Sometimes they're not the same person. Y'all do. Mama Star actually, she wanted to be here for this one. She's not in timeout for this one. She'll be here. I'm probably going to get her on either tomorrow or Saturday. It depends on how many episodes we can get through. Yeah, I'm telling you, Elena, I just think she just wants to stay on the show. I don't think she likes any of them. But I was really shocked that she was not attracted to Zach and Zach was attracted to her. Zach, what's going on? You know what? I got to hear from the women because I like Zach off of this show, but I feel like you're making choices that just don't make sense to me. In if you're here for the right reasons kind of way. I want to hear what the women got to say, especially Jackie. Oh, okay. JK said, I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire. If all the women are saying that he's creepy, clearly he's giving off a vibe in person we're not seeing on our screens. That's what I was thinking. Like something's going on. Something is going on. Oh, there it is. Yay! Congrats to your daughter. I love that. Come on, PhD. Come on, PhD. Drewski said, if we're talking dial-up nostalgia, remember, get off the internet. I need to use the phone. And now we can literally talk on the phone while surfing. Yeah, right. That is so crazy. Oh my goodness. That is so crazy. Trisha said, I left for a while. Off subject. Nikki, were you on an Aldi commercial? No, I wish. No, I wish. Child, that'll be a national commercial. I'll be set. I'm trying to get either a Geico or a Progressive commercial. If I get a Progressive commercial, guys, y'all won't see me. I'll be in Cuba living my best life. Y'all find me on Instagram, just posting random colorful pictures. Yes, I'm actually seeking brother husband, 90-day fiance, married at first sight in Real Housewives of New Jersey. That's tomorrow. I want to do those tomorrow because I have Friday off for now. I'm going to do those tomorrow. And then I'm going to do a pop culture live with Arnold. So that should be fun. Alaskan said, somebody said a good point that this is the first season we had a true female villain on the show after we've had Shane. No, remember season 1? That girl, I forget her name, but she was the one that fed her dog wine and she drank after her dog. But I think she was vindicated by not being as awful. But that was weird. That was a weirdie. First of all, I didn't know that dogs could drink wine. But her drinking after the dog? What? Wow. Wow. Deborah said, it's the criminal defense attorney in Zach. His job is to defend the indefensible, and excuse red flags with reasonable doubt. Hence his relationship with Irina. Deborah, that is a great observation. That is a great observation. Wow. I totally am seeing things so different now. That's a great observation. Please, Trisha, this girl, I'm telling you right now, because I love you, right? Please, if this girl is not cute, don't send it. Because I'm telling you right now, I wasn't in no Aldi commercial. And if this person who you think I look like is not cute, we're going to be beefing. We are going to be beefing. I'm sorry. Sierra said, because of the way that Progressive Lady has worked for them since forever, that's a big bag. Oh, she's set for the rest of her freaking life. She got that commercial. She does improv sometimes, but like I know people who were like on improv teams with her back in the day in like Second City or whatever. And I think she also did the Groundlings. But they were like, she got that commercial and she just stopped auditioning for other stuff because she's like set for life. She don't got to do nothing else. She wasn't, but that was our first female villain. She was not as messy, but that was our first. Jessica was our first female villain. Yep, Shayna was the second one. So we've had female villains. Zenab, yeah, she's up there. She's up. Oh, they can't, Kay? That dog was drinking the hell out of that wine. Oh, they're not. Ciao. That's going to be a good season. I did not know that there were so many Black women who had that kind of setup. Ciao. If I feel like if I wasn't a Sagittarius, I could do something like that. But I feel like the Sag in me just does not have the energy to give to two partners. I can't do it. And does one husband have contacts? I keep on looking like, because I know there are some Black people who have blue eyes, but I'm like, are those contacts and veneers? Something going on. We'll talk about it. We will talk about it. Don't got to do another thing. He's so sad he retired to let somebody else get the bag. And that AT&T commercial girl, she don't got to do nothing else. She don't have to do nothing else. One good commercial could set you up for the rest of your life. Yeah. Another improviser, another person in the comedy community who, as soon as she got that job, she was like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. Especially with them residuals. I need a national. Pray, Star family, pray. Like, guys, she's making millions upon millions a year. Millions upon millions a year off of a 30-second commercial. An actor's dream. An actor's dream. You know what? I heard something faint about that. I didn't know that he went to triple A. I'm so sorry. I think it's just AA. I didn't know about that. But either way, it didn't affect his Netflix bag. It did, because him and Jessica. Sorry.
Yeah, girl, you were here for 12 hours. So I know for sure you're not making it a thing because I'm starving.
Him and Vanessa. No, I messed up a name. Not you. Child. They got a nice coin. They looked out with Love is Blind. Oh, he's wearing contacts. I was like, is this contacts? Sir, at your big age, you put them on every morning. Why you pick blue? Like a frosty. Oh, yes. But this is the thing. He got out before they started doing it like that. So when they wanted him to come back, they had to pay him big. So he's not making what like Flo was making, but they had to pay him big, which is why we saw him that one time and didn't see him again. Oh my goodness. So Jessica is poisoning them dogs.
Jessica Simpson?
Oh no. Jessica from Love is Blind.
What the hell?
OMG.
Okay, she gave him wine?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. She's definitely a serial killer.
Okay. Anyway, guys, it's dinner time. My food is here.
Oh, get on. Stay on. You stay on this goddamn long.
Stop that cussing. Anyway, it's time for me to go. Thank you all so much for joining me for the last minute live. Watch my channel for tomorrow. I don't know. I'm hoping to do one in the afternoon, but we will see. Thank you so much for joining me. See you tomorrow for something else. Love you guys. Get some rest, Star family on the East Coast. Sorry, I try to mix up the time so we can all come here together. But get some rest, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Bye. I can't believe I called that woman